Hey there guys, so previously in episode 1 recap, we saw that Iori's little sister sent a letter asking how Iori was doing, and the dude thought about ditching the reply, but she had also sent letters to Chisa and Nanika asking them about Iori too. So now Iori couldn't even lie. Shirori still sends letters in this day and age because she's bad with electronics, which made Iori think he could get away with anything, but truth is, she's actually a tech wizard and just hides it to secretly spy on him. Anyways, Iori had no choice but to send a reply saying he's living a decent and respectable life, and to make it convincing he tried to find a good photo. But in the bunch Chisa found a smokin' hot picture of Nanika and Asuza, and Iori immediately waged war with her to get it, but in the middle of their struggle a book hit them and both of them passed out cold. Right there Nanika walked in and saw the scene. She totally misunderstood it and now she wanted Iori to take responsibility by marrying Chisa, and that's when Shirori suddenly appeared. She apparently heard the gist of the thing and immediately pointed out that there was a book on the floor and Chisa would never leave stuff lying around. Also, both of them were still fully dressed so clearly nothing had happened. Her deduction was so accurate it felt like she had seen it all with her own eyes, but Shirori simply said it was just her sharp mind. After that she was introduced to the whole gang, she was polite and calm and Iori asked why she even came here. And she said she wanted to see firsthand how her beloved brother was living, since she knew just how much of a degenerate lowlife Iori really was, the kind of guy who agreed to marry someone on a whim. Still she brought souvenirs too, and seeing that everyone doubts if both are really related, then she remembered she had brought Iori's old notebook too in which he wrote about his dreams. And casually admitted she broke open his desk drawer to get it. Turns out the poor guy also had a CD of songs he made. She was just exposing all of his secrets one by one that it was absolutely hilarious. Then she talked about how their family runs a ryokan, but their dad didn't want to hand it over to his idiot son, which actually makes sense, because putting a fool in charge would only lead to bankruptcy. Iori said he had no intention of taking it over anyway, but Shirori insisted he might become smarter someday. That was it for Iori. He wanted her gone immediately, which makes Shirori sad, and when she asked why, he just told her straight up that she's a pain. That's one heartless jerk right there. But Asuza knew what was coming and warned everyone that if Kohei shows up, Iori would be a dead man, and speak of the devil and Kohei showed up, Kohei said he might forgive Iori if Shirori calls him big brother. The guy's creepiness knew no limits and Iori begged Shirori to just say it. She was kind of embarrassed and asked if Nisama would work instead, and Kohei instantly approved it. It reminded him of his favorite anime and his luck would have it. Shirori knew that anime too. It was a match made in Degenerate heaven, and Kohei was so thrilled he gave Iori some cash, and this is exactly why Iori wanted to send her away soon, but Shirori stubbornly refused. So to settle it once and for all they decided to have a team match. Iori was all alone, so he needed another degenerate on his side and blackmailed Kohei into joining him. He threatened to expose all of his dark secrets. But Kohei still chose death over betrayal, and even then revealed some nasty things about him. Then they showed the game plan and Shirori looked fully ready, but then she knocked the guy unconscious with some sort of drug. So the match was off for now. Asuza noticed how obsessed Shirori seemed with her brother, just like Nanika is obsessed with Chisa, but actually it wasn't like that at all. From her actions it looked like she had a full-on brother complex. But the reality is, she's not fond of Iori at all. She's only doing this so that Iori could take over the family business instead. That's why she woke him up early in the morning like a true Ryokan staff member and even made breakfast with all the things he used to eat back home, just to make him homesick so he'd pack up and come back. But sadly the guy didn't even remember what his mother's cooking tasted like, so Shirori decided to make things weirder. She spilled soup all over him so others told him to go to the bath, so Shirori offered to join in, but her trap totally backfired. Because nobody reacted except the one who shouldn't have, since weird stuff like this happens often around here. Iori quickly warned Shirori not to joke like that in front of Nanika, and just like that, the true weirdo showed up to stop the nonsense with the power of love. He's still stuck on wanting to be called Big Brother, which obviously wasn't gonna happen, so the gang decided to focus on preparing for Iori's diving test. Then someone asked if Shirori could swim and she said yes. Which was funny because Iori couldn't. Kohei even joked that they clearly weren't related and started quizzing him about Shiroi. Iori got all the answers wrong as usual, but Nanika invited her to join them for diving, and if she agrees, it would mean she's giving her blessing to Iori to stay here longer, which she definitely didn't want. so she makes up she doesn't have swimsuit, so Chisa and Nanika offered theirs but sizes wouldn't fit. Iori was dumbass that he spoke it out loud. But Kohei offered her a brand new swimsuit he happened to have. Iori was done and almost called the cops, but Kohei swore it was brand new, but still Shirori stayed back, so Pops figured maybe she just didn't like the ocean and gave her some advice. Said it's a great way to relax and clear your mind. His words actually hit the mark because when the group got back, Shirori changed her mind and was ready to dive in. So they took her down to explore the underwater world and she finally felt the peace Pops had described. Later they organized a celebration since Iori passed his diving license test. Everyone was in a good mood. But while they were distracted, Iori had half taken off his pants, so Shirori tried to use that moment to steal his report card and send it to their parents, but all she found in his closet was junk. There Iori caught her and she lied saying she was just cleaning. Still Iori offered to help, and while they were cleaning, he brought up the family business. Iori said he knew Shirori doesn't want to take over the Ryokan, but she was doing it for their parents' sake. Even though Iori didn't really know her likes or dislikes, at least he understood that much, so Shirori asked him to take over instead, but he refused like always. Finally it came time for her to leave. Shirori pouted about it but still went back with a handful of awkward memories and some surprisingly heartwarming moments. And right there our episode 2 ends for today, so stay tuned to watch the next episode, and for that subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Till then, take care.